So today we continue with our class, Women's Guide to Practical Halachah, and we're discussing the laws of Pesach. And this class also should be for Refuah Shlema, Yaron ben Doris, Yehudis bat Sarah, and Benjamin ben Sarah. Okay, so we start with Sefer Chaim. Today's topic, Lashon Hara, general rules. Actually, it's a big topic. Today's topic, other means of communication. Having concluded our discussion of two basic categories of Lashon Hara, the derogatory or harmful information, it is important to note several rules that apply equally to both. Okay, Lashon Hara is not limited to speech. Very interesting. Included this prohibition of communication of derogatory or harmful information through any means. So not only speech, but writing and gesturing, right? Mimicking. Therefore, writing, Lashon Hara, or using code, right, the different code, sign body language, right, like a cynical smile, or rolling one's eyes upward, and in exasperation, that communicates something negative or harmful is forbidden. So you will say, like you didn't say no. So somebody saw like across the room, you just go like this. That's it. That's enough to be a Lashon Hara, something negative. Very interesting. To show other letters, to show other a letter or article that would reflect badly on author is forbidden. So you did not do anything. It's very interesting. You just show them, right? Or you forward some information to them. It is one second, just 1 second. One more time, the whole sentence. To show others a letter or article that would reflect badly on the author is forbidden, as is revealing the identity of the author or work that is known to be poor quality. Okay, poor quality. Okay. It is also forbidden to show photographs of people which they would find embarrassing. So don't take pictures. Okay, very interesting. Okay, don't show like maybe somebody was little and now he's grown up and he's a big boss, and now you show like he's I don't know, in diapers or something. Okay. Okay, we stop here. So today is a day when we're supposed to do bdika Chametz. As we discussed, you have to search for Chametz. And you have to, it's preferably that you find, but it's not necessary. And after the search, just to remind us, after the search, you do nullification. So you say, whatever I did not find is like a dust of the earth, whatever is it, I do not care. So that's the thing. Okay, so we start today, and it was actually a question yesterday on WhatsApp, and I said we're going to discuss today. So let's do it today, and our topic is Sefiras HaOmer. So we need a Siddur for that. So we're going to show exactly what Sefiras HaOmer is. What is it? It's at the end of the Mariv services. Mariv on page 256. So in the end. So it's on page 283 in English. 283. Okay, so let's see. Sefiras HaOmer, of course, we're dealing with Halachos For Women. On the second night of Pesach, we begin the mitzvah of Sefiras HaOmer. So one more time, right? Second night of Pesach. First night is going to be Wednesday night, right? So on Thursday night, when like after the nightfall, so you start counting the Omer. I think it should be. It's not in all Haggadahs. Somehow, don't ask me why. It's not, but it is in some Haggadahs. But anyway, it's in our Siddur, and so you can use the Siddur. And just to remind us, if you use Siddur during the year, and you would leave it on a table, so like there is possibility there is some crumbs that stick to the cover of the Siddur, so you have to wipe out or use different Siddur. So, for example, we have a different Pesach Siddur. So, whatever you want, but it's not necessary to have a separate Siddur, but you can just wipe clean these crumbs if you have any, and make sure that there are no crumbs inside of the books, of course. Okay, so let's start. On the second night of Pesach, we begin the mitzvah of Sefiras HaOmer. Mishnah Brura writes that the women are exempt from counting Sefiras, which is a time-bound mitzvah. However, he writes that they have now accepted this mitzvah upon themselves as an obligation. Okay, so continue. Some write that the woman should not count with a bracha, since there is a strong possibility that she might forget one night, since she does not daven Marif in the shul. These days, there are many reminders for women, and it is suggested that she set up a reminder for herself. Many women, therefore, have a custom to count with a bracha. Okay, so let's try to understand. So first of all, in olden days, it was almost mission impossible to remember. I mean, for women, for men, you go if you go to the Marif services in the shul. I mean, they're going to count there. They go and bang on a bima, and the rabbis or somebody like Gabbai is going to count for everybody, so everybody would listen and know what day is it, how to count, and that's it, right? But women usually do not go to shul, especially on a weekday. Some of them do, I saw, but it's very rare, right? But today, even for men, for women, it's understood. But even for men, if you download this Maizmanim application, different application, whatever you want. I prefer Maizmanim because it's very, very accurate, and we actually use it for this application for students in different countries, right? It works perfectly there. Sometimes the local application, like they ask me, how is it possible? Time is this, time is that, and then we checked. Like the local application, I mean, not from the local shul. They never there is probably a person that put the numbers manually, and they were relying on that time for candle lighting. Of course, sometimes he forgets. It's not reliable, but this application is very good, and it sends you a reminder. So I think you can do email, or you can do text message. I don't know. Maybe personally, I get in both, just in case I don't forget. I'm getting text message, and I get in email reminder, and it tells you exactly what the earliest opportune time to count the Omer, and it tells you like how to say it. I mean the whole line, as we're going to explain. Today's the second day, third day of Omer, or let's say today 8th day, meaning that 1 week and plus 1 day, so stuff like that. Okay, so it's very, very handy. Okay, to have application like that. Okay, so as the author is saying, so women, many of them accepted the custom, and even since most likely, it's not strictly mandatory, but if women want, they can count even with a blessing. As we said before, if a woman wants to accept custom, right, so there's no problem, she can do it and even count with a blessing. Okay, for men, that's obligatory for sure to count. Okay. That's it. Okay, so continue. If one forgets to count the Sefiras at night, she counts in the daytime without a bracha. She may then continue counting the rest of the days with a bracha. Okay, so that's that's rule for women and for men. That's halacha exactly the same. So the proper time is to count after the nightfall. That's the proper time. There are some opinions that you can do a little earlier, but I mean, if very, very necessary, you can do a little earlier. But somehow in the shul that they would count without blessing, but you can come home and count with a blessing in the proper time. I don't rely on that. I always count at home, like in later time after the complete nightfall, because sometimes they daven a little earlier. Okay, so but it's possible. So okay, so it's proper after the nighttime until the dawn. So that's the whole night. You have to count the Sefiras HaOmer. But if person missed it, possible. I don't know, somebody was sick, slept or wanted to nap for 45 minutes, set up 3 alarms, and guess what? Slept through the night to the morning. Possible. So what do? We count during the day. You have the whole day to count, but without blessing. And right, so and you count without blessing, and at night you would be allowed to count with a blessing again. Okay, a person who forgets one day completely should continue the remainder of the day without bracha. One should not stop counting just because she may no longer may make the bracha. I mean, same with the man. It's exactly. I mean. Here halacha is exactly the same. If person for whatever reason missed the whole day, meaning at night and proper time missed, and then make up time during the day also missed, so no longer is allowed to count with a blessing. But many times, whether you say blessing or you do not say blessing, if you perform the mitzvah, the actual act of the mitzvah, mitzvah is counted. So okay, so even if you missed one day, no problem. Nobody have to know, like some people in shul that they say very loud, like with a blessing and stuff like that. But it's not necessary for everybody here around you here that you count with a blessing. You just say quietly, even if you did not miss the day. Just you can say quietly. Only you have to hear. Okay, so don't be embarrassed if you miss the day, basically. If she isn't sure whether or not she counted on the previous night, she should continue counting with a bracha. So here it's very interesting. Exactly same halacha applies for men. So if person is not sure if he or she counted, how is it possible? I think everything is possible. So here we go a little lenient route, and we say, yeah, let them count with a blessing, which is good. Because why would we say so? Because there is opinion, as we discussed sometime before, there is opinion that every day is a separate mitzvah. So one opinion, no, all of the 49 days is one mitzvah, and there is another opinion, no. Every day is a separate mitzvah. So according to the first opinion, you would need to say blessing only once, when you start counting, and that's it, right? But according to second opinion, you would need to say the blessing every day. So we actually go in combination of two opinions. And that's why you would, if in case a person forgets, right, completely forgot, count it or not, so we allow them to count with a blessing. Next one is stating the day of the Omer. When one who has not yet counted Sefiras is asked which night or Sefirah it is, she should not respond saying tonight is. Instead, she should say that the previous night was. If one does not inadvertently say the count of that night, she should count the night without the bracha, and then continue the rest of the nights with the bracha. This applies only after the sunset on that night. If it is still day, one may say tonight is the number of the coming night. Okay, so what does it mean? So technically, when our sages said that you have to count, meaning count, you just say count, like 8, right? So if you say 8, that's today is the 8th day of HaOmer. That's it, right? Not HaOmer. Today the 8th day of Omer. That's it. So don't need all the formula that we're going to show right now. That's enough. So that's why when somebody is asking you what should be count, right? So try to say yesterday was number 3. So yesterday was the 3rd day. So today, so they get kind. So tonight they have to count the 4th day. That's it. So try not to say. And the biggest issue, I would say, the biggest issue that people have is the Lag BaOmer. So on one hand, Lag BaOmer is a holiday. On another hand, it's Lag Lamet is Torah. Gimel is 3, Lag BaOmer. So when you say Lag BaOmer, it's the 33rd day of the Omer. So when you say today is Lag BaOmer, so you say you want to tell somebody that today is a holiday. So basically, you already counted the Sefiras, which is a problem. So you would not be able to count with a blessing. Okay, so next day, of course, you're allowed, but be careful not to say out loud what day is it. But with this application, so many people get text or emails, so I think it's much easier. You just know what is it. What day is it? And in this application, my Zmanim, it's actually, I think if you open my Zmanim, even if you, I don't know, if you did not get a text, you did not get the email for whatever reason, you can still open application and see there what day is it. Okay, so we finish that. Let me go to the Siddur and let's see how the whole procedure. So the whole procedure is it's actually very, very Kabbalistic, and as Rabbi Reuven Shlita once explained in one of the olden classes, so a Kabbalist, I never seen this Siddur, but he said that's what it is. Of course, we believe him. So they have Sefiras HaOmer counted. He said, I'm not sure, he said it literally, not literally, but he said 500 pages. So now 500 pages, it's a lot, as you understand. Most of the Siddurim, if you have Hebrew only Siddur, it's 500 pages, maybe even less, maybe like 400 maybe. Right, so it's all of the weekly prayers and all of the holidays prayer. That's it. So I mean, it's very, very spiritual count, right? And there are different books on Lag BaOmer, on counting of the Omer. So each day corresponds to different character trait, and it's proper to work on that character trait. So what does it mean? That when we were in Egypt, as our Sage said, we were on a 49th level of Tuma, or spiritual impurity. So they say if Hashem would not take us right there, we'll be gone. So that's why we needed 49 days to go spiritually up to the normal level, just to get away from the Tuma, from the spiritual impurity. And that's the reason till this day we count 49 day from Pesach until Shabbos, right? So on Pesach we went out of Egypt and and we count these 49 days. So if you want, buy a book and you can work on this character developments. Very good. So it's actually the counting is starting on page 283, right? It says counting of the Omer, and it's like introduction. So it's very, very, very Kabbalistic. I encourage everybody to read. Sometimes in the shul they just skip, but do not do what they do. And there's a blessing, right? So it says, "Blesses Hashem." I am skip who commanded us regarding the counting of the Omer. Right, and then, so I'm on the page 285, and then you go to the table, special table on the next page, and then you insert the correct day. Okay, and you insert the correct date. So I give you one example. For example, 15th day. So you say today is the 15th day, which is 2 weeks and 1 day of the Omer. Okay, so that's actually the formula that we should follow. But if somebody say today is the 15th day without specifying 2 weeks, after the fact there is no problem. You don't have to recount. But if you want recount, right, say today's 15 days, it's 2 weeks and 1 day, there is no problem, but without blessing. Without blessing, you can count many times. Okay. And that's it, right? And after you finish, of course, there is Psalm 67 and some other things, and you read until the end of the page, and then after you finish, you actually say Aleinu Shabech. So you're praying Mariv, you finish Shmona Esrei, right? If you pray Mariv, but mostly for men. So if you finish Shmona Esrei, they say Kaddish, then they go count Sefirah, and then they go back and finish with Aleinu Shabech, which is how translate it? It's our duty to praise our Master. To page 281. Okay. So that's Sefiras HaOmer. Any questions on Sefiras HaOmer? Sefiras HaOmer, it's counting of the Omer. Only on counting. We're going to go into restrictions right now. Questions? Okay, no problem. So keep Siddur handy, please. We're going to get back to it. Okay, so now we continue with Sefiras Mourning, right? So let's see. To commemorate the great national tragedy that took place when 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva died during the days of the Sefiras, there is a widespread custom to refrain from certain activities in order to display mourning. There are different customs when exactly to keep these days of mourning. Most have a custom to either from a day 1, second day of Pesach, until Lag HaOmer, or from Rosh Chodesh Iyar until the 3 days before Shabbos. Some poskim hold that one may choose either set of the days and switch from year to year. Others are strict and keep the days of the mourning during the year period of time. Okay, so I think we discussed it before, but quickly to refresh our memories. It happened that 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva passed, and some, right? So some Chachamim said that 24,000 pairs, actually, which is a lot. The best of the best, and they passed, and that's why we observe mourning. So it's basically two separate periods. One period was observed even before the student passed. This Rabbi Akiva was only just so you know, he was in generation of the second temple. Like after I think he was after destruction of second temple, so much later. You understand? I mean, he was during the destruction after destruction of the second temple, right? So he was. It's not so long ago, but before that, people, of course, they counted the Sefiras, this 49 days. But in the middle of these 49 days, we have these 33 days when students were dying. And all of them died. So you just try to imagine the tragedy. The biggest rabbis, let's say if you go by 24,000, not pairs, but 24,000. So how many? It's hundreds and hundreds died every day. So just imagine the amount of funerals that every day. And Baruch Hashem, one of the things that we have to learn from this story. So Rabbi Akiva could go crazy, could go depressed and I don't think anybody would ever blame him, right? When he built his empire, his yeshiva, and he invests everything into the students, and all of them have died. So it's tragedy. And Rabbi Akiva teaches here through all of the generation that it's all from Hashem. Right, we did whatever we did, and I learned from my mistakes, whatever his mistake also, of course. He was a teacher, he was responsible in some way for all of them, for all of their lives, of all of their welfare, right? And And after that died, he just put himself back, mourn, as we all supposed to mourn when somebody close to us dies, and he continued. And he rebuilt the Torah. So the Torah that we have is from Rabbi Akiva, from 5 students of Rabbi Akiva. You understand? So that's amazing. That's a lesson for us. Doesn't matter what we're going through in our life, and some of us going through a very, very difficult time. And I know because people tell me it's like, but we always have to look in the Torah and see what the great Rabbi Akiva went through, right? So we know that the mourning was for 30. They were dying during 33 days, but nobody knows exactly when these 33 days happened. But everybody knows for a fact that nobody died on Lag BaOmer, right? 33rd day of the Omer. So basically, our rabbi says, so most likely, they start dying from the beginning of the Pesach and until the Lag BaOmer. Others say no, maybe they stop dying on Lag BaOmer and then continue after Lag BaOmer, right? But before but we finish before the Shavuos, for sure. So that's why we have two. He said two, but there are actually three different customs, right? Two of the most popular, I would say. So it's from second day of Omer, from second day of Pesach, as second night of Pesach, when we start counting Sefiras, but that's the most popular custom, and you go till the Lag BaOmer. Very, very simple. There is no actual mourning because you have what is it? Chol HaMoed, you have holidays, so it's not actually very difficult, and you will go to the 33rd day, right? Or some custom, as he said, it's actually starts from Rosh Chodesh Iyar, right, and finish 3 days before Shavuos. And the third custom is actually from the second day of Pesach all the way. So to include the Hasidim, that's many Hasidim do. They all the way to the 3 days before Shavuos they start. Okay. So, and as he said, you can alternate from year to year, up to you. There is no restriction. For example, somebody forgot to take a haircut, and now they want to look presentable for their job, whatever case is. So you take so you can start not your usual Sefiras period from the second day of Pesach until Lag BaOmer. So you can start from Rosh Chodesh Iyar. And I have one fellow from my show where I go. He actually his wedding is going to be Beezrat Hashem after Pesach. So after Pesach, but before the Rosh Chodesh. So if needed, you can always adjust. Okay, so we said that. Okay, so let's see what are the restriction. What exactly is restricted? The mourning restriction can have that we have accepted upon ourselves: a marrying, listening to the music, dancing, and taking haircuts. The poskim generally assume that women also should not take haircuts during this time. However, a married woman may cut her hair that protrudes from her head covering. One is permitted to buy and wear new clothing during the days of Sefiras. Okay, so let's try to understand before we continue. So the days of Sefiras, it's I'm not sure what he does. One second. Okay, so we're going to add to whatever he said. So the mourning is what? So we say that there are no weddings and no listening to music, to any music. Some people listen to cappella, singing without music, just voices. Okay, if needed, you can listen to dancing, meaning even without music, because dancing even people can clap and just sing, right, and dance. So also not appropriate. Not appropriate because we all mourners, usually you have to mourn for 7 close relatives, right? And for your teacher, your Torah teacher or great rabbi, even he's not directly teacher. So here's the 24,000 greatest of the great passed away. Yeah, so it's proper to mourn for everybody. So of course we do not dance, we didn't take a haircut. That's why tomorrow, please make sure you have haircut or whatever trimming, whatever you need to do, right? For women, of course, there is a leniency because it's halachah for women to cover their hair, married women to cover their hair, and if they sticking out from this scarf or turban, whatever she wears, right? Tichel, she's allowed to do what is it to trim it a little, but I'm not sure. It's usually there's no problem. This head covering is so spacious, so you can feed there whatever you want. Okay, but if needed, so you have opinions to rely upon, and if you need to buy new clothing, there is no problem. So we're not talking about Chol HaMoed, just to remind us. It's Sefirah. So after the Pesach, start the Sefirah. Okay, continue. If a wedding celebrated during the period of the Sefirah that a participant is keeping, that person nonetheless is allowed to participate in the dancing and singing. Some poskim maintain that if men were to be embarrassed not to shave for the occasion, he should be allowed to do so. However, nowadays people usually understand that a guest is unshaved because he is observing those days of Shiur. So, and it's very practical. These very practical examples. For example is like this: people who get married, they get married after the Sefirah, right? I mean, after the 33 days. But this person start later. He start from Rosh Chodesh Iyar. So for him, it's like another, let's say, another week of mourning. But they already like normal, right? That they can do the wedding. So is a very interesting thing. So even if he's not, so there is a leniency. If he's going to get embarrassed, I'm not sure what person should get embarrassed. But so he can go to this wedding, and even they say even sing and dance. I'm not sure who said it. Singing. I mean, he does not say who said it. Singing and dancing, but I would say at least attend for sure. I saw the opinion say Igras Moshe, right? At least attend. There is no problem. Okay, and everybody would understand why a man did not shave. It's very interesting story. Many stories are told. Countless stories are told about Sefirah, and people like think should I shave? We're talking about men. Should they shave? Should they not shave? And I just want to say one story like from a long time ago. It was one boy, a younger fellow, maybe not a boy, right? And he was looking for a shidduch for a long time, and finally it was like. They call him and they describe the girl. It was like exactly what he was looking for, right? Exactly. So he was debating: should I shave? Should not shave? Like some people, some men have a full beard, some like 3.5 hairs in different direction. It looks a little funny. Okay, it's not their fault. It's not like they did something wrong, right? Okay, so it was one of these cases. And he went to a rabbi, right? And rabbi say, look, it's Sefiras. She understands. If she's a religious girl, she understands. We don't shave during the Sefirah. Well, after the Sefirah, you're going to shave. So, but you're allowed to go on a dating. On a dating, there is no problem, right? And he thought, and what he did, he shaved. So he shaved to look presentable, and he went to the wedding. And then what? The shad comes call, no match. And he said, why? Because and the shadchan said, because you she thought, according to your resume, that you're a religious person. She said all of the religious people do not shave. Why you shaved? So probably you're not so religious. That's not what the one that she was looking for. So sometimes that people using their own logic or a judgment, and many times it's wrong. It's backfiring. So just stick to halacha. If a person on the other side do not understand that, so they do not understand. Does not change halacha. Okay. So we continue. Sefiras section. The wedding and celebration during the period of Sefirah. No, we said okay. Nowadays usually okay. No problem. So we can let's do a little Siddur. I want to finish the davening part, especially for tomorrow. So tomorrow is today we have to look for Chametz. Today we have to nullify the Chametz, and tomorrow check your application, my money or something. Until what time you can eat Chametz? So in my time, I think that they'll announce it today. The latest time it's like 10:26 in the morning, and you have to destroy Chametz until 11 something in the morning. So, but check your time. But okay, you can do it early. They just give you the latest time. Okay, so but make sure you burn it. You burn the Chametz, or you as we said, just crumble and flush down the toilet. And after that, you recite this declaration. What was the page? 650 something. 1 second. 655. So in 655 in but it says a search for Chametz. So you do this declaration. You say any Chametz leaven in my possessions. It's should be like a dust of the earth. So it's very important. And one more time, even though we said yesterday, tomorrow you have to do this erev tafshilin with the egg and matzah or whatever other cooked product, whatever you want to do. We prefer egg. And so you would be allowed to cook for Shabbos. On Friday, you would be allowed to cook on Shabbos when you do that, and you would be allowed to kindle the lights, the candles. Okay. So that's it for tomorrow. And if somebody is a firstborn male, meaning that his mother did not have any miscarriages or abortion, chas v'shalom, so that's firstborn boy has to fast, right? There is a way around of fasting. For example, in my shul, not only in my shul, but in all of the shuls, they do a siyum, meaning somebody completion some body of Torah or some portion, big portion, Talmud or other Shulchan Aruch or something, and they do conclusion of that portion, and everybody's celebrating. So since you already ate in the morning, so you're allowed to continue eating. So that's that. And I want to show you there are a few parts that tomorrow prayer would be a little different. So it's in the morning. Two things we do not say. One is Psuki de Zimra. And another is at the end of the davening. So on page 65, the Psalm Mizmar Lesoida, we don't say. Right? It's in the middle of the page. It says Psalm of Thanksgiving. Call out to Hashem. Right? To Hashem, everyone on earth. So this psalm, it says in the commentary. So we don't say on Erev Pesach. And another piece we skip. It's actually at the end of the davening of Valitzion. Here we go. On the page 153, it says Lamnatseach Mizmoir Ledovid, right? So it's Psalm number 20, and it says for the conductor a Psalm of David, right? So these two things we do not say yesterday. Tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, and for the davening, like we already spoke yesterday extensively about what to say for a holiday davening. Okay, I'm not going to go back to it unless somebody have questions. So if you want to review, I can review. But I want to review what we say on the Chol HaMoed. So Chol HaMoed is intermediate days. So if for men wear tefillin usually all the year, but on Chol HaMoed there are different customs. The most popular custom not to wear tefillin on Chol HaMoed, but some people do because they have tradition from their fathers. I think usually like Ashkenaz, like Litvish, they do wear, but most other people do not. Okay, do not wear tefillin. Okay, so on Chol HaMoed, the prayers are also like much longer than usual. So you start in the morning, you say exactly everything as usual. Everything is usual. In the Shmona Esrei, first of all, remember on page 101, even though we said yesterday, but I'm going to remind, we stopped saying who makes a wind blow and bring down the rain. Mashiv Haroach Morit Hageshem, right? Okay. Sephardic custom is to change this expression Morit Hatal, meaning they add the blessing for a Jew. Okay. Ashkenazim just don't say anything. Okay. Then and plus, as we said, on the years of prosperity, you say and give blessing. So until now, we're saying give dew and rain for a blessing, right? But starting Chol HaMoed, we stopped that, right? And we said the blessing. We send a bracha. Okay. It's page 105, and then you continue with your Shmona Esrei. So, yeah, go ahead.
So for the blessing, instead of he causes the wind to blow and the rain to fall, it's gonna be he causes the dew to descend on the second day of Pesach, or on Pesach, or on HaOmer.
Oh, that part is in the Chol HaMoed, but okay. So one second. So first part, I apologize. First part. So I don't want to confuse anybody. First change. First change is in a blessing of God's might. So God's might is a second blessing of the Shmona Esrei. So second blessing of Shmona Esrei we always say, whether it's Shabbos or a weekday or holiday, it doesn't matter. We always say we always say 3 first blessing and 3 the last blessing. But in the middle is different. So this blessing, who makes the wind blow and brings down the rain. So we stop saying on as you said on the second day of Pesach. So it's in our what is it? It's in the Musaf prayer. It's in the Musaf prayer. So you stop saying that. Okay. But the piece that I just showed on page 105, it's a year of prosperity, and it's you say this blessing only on a weekday. That's why this piece you start on the Chol HaMoed, because that's the first opportunity. You understand? And that piece, since it's a third blessing which is always included, it's a second of the 3 blessing. So that's why you started during the holiday.
So so on the second day of Pesach, we stopped saying the Musaf prayer, Or stop saying he causes
Yes.
the rain
So
to fall?
let me show you where it says that. I think it's 675. Let's see. For holidays, yeah. Yes, 675. It says if you've seen in the Blessing God's Might on Shmini Atzeres Simchas Torah in a silent Shmona Esrei of the first day of Pesach. So first, right, on the first day of Pesach we add, but on the second day of Pesach we do not add. That's what it means. You understand? That's page 275. So on first day of Pesach we add, on the second day we do not add. Okay. So, this is one of the things that Gabbai is not going to announce. Usually he said add this, add that, but this piece he's not going to announce because we don't announce. Okay, stop ask for blessings. You understand? So usually if you have a good rabbi there, so he's going to give like all a speech, short speech, just remind us the halacha is like this. So you're allowed to teach halacha, but you're not allowed to teach people not to ask for blessing. So just be careful. I know some people do they put like sticky notes, like yellow like post-it notes, like on this page, on over the page. So remember for all of the changes. It's very important to remember the changes. Okay. So very good question. Yes, very good question. Thank you. So if anybody have questions or doubts, we can go back and review. There is no problem. Let me know. Okay. So here we're talking about Chol HaMoed. So we continue with so we start with a weekday prayer. So we said in Shmona Esrei we already have 2 changes. And then the third change is on page 111. So on page 111 we have to add Yala v'Yovel, meaning may they rise up and arrive and reach, right? So meaning and that's a special edition for Pesach, Sukkot, and Rosh Chodesh. So that's very important also to say it. Okay. And continue. So this the rest is the same. Okay. So this this special Shmona Esrei on page 660. You pray only on the holidays, right? During the Chol HaMoed, like intermediate days, you pray this regular Shmona Esrei. So, but when you finish, since it is not regular day, but actually like a holiday, right? Semi-holiday. I'm not sure why it does not say that. 1 second. So after that, we go directly to Hallow, page 633. 633, and you do Hallow until the end. So it ends on a page. What page is it? 1 second. 633. Okay, I apologize. It's 643. Okay, so the 10 pages of Hallow, and then you go back. You go back. On page 138, meaning 138. What is it? Reading of the Torah. Okay, we skip. So we go to the end, page 151, like until the end. Again, this Psalm number 20 on page 153. Lamnatzeach Mizmor LeDavid we skip. For the conductor, Psalm David we skip for the whole Chol HaMoed. Okay. We skip, and we go to the end, and that's it. 1 second. and after you finish this while it's on, like on page 157, so we still have to pray Musaf. So that's why I said it's a longer prayer. So Musaf as usual is 675, and there also it's going to be changed. So I say 675 Musaf for festivals, and all of it is the same. For everyone. So you say addition for Pesach on page 679, addition for Pesach, and then on page 681. So pay attention what to say. So the first addition is like in the middle of the page. It says the first 2 days of Pesach, right? And then the second paragraph is it says on the Chol HaMoed of Pesach and last 2 days of Pesach. So here is actually on Sukkot, it's different for every day because it's different. What is it? Carbonus, the different sacrifices on every day. So we start with 14 when we go down, but here it's the same offering every day, which is good, right? It's a second paragraph, and you skip all other things which is related to different holidays, and you go to page 687, right? And continue on all days. You continue. Okay. You do temple service, all as usual, and you say. Okay, and then you jump back to Aleinu L'Shabeach, right? It's our duty, and you finish the prayer. That's it. Anything else that I skipped? No. But basically, you remember that your prayer is going to be longer. How much longer? Maybe 15 minutes, and it depends what speed you read. Maybe 15-20 minutes. I would say longer than usual. Maybe less. I don't know. Okay, so that's the prayer for Chol HaMoed. I would advise for a person who's for whom it's information is brand new, or like a lot of it brand new, and many people do not read commentary, and sometimes commentary it's like they put in tiny letters that and unless you know what you're looking for, so you might not find. And as I notice in this Siddur, it's actually the commentary over on the right side for whatever reason, I don't know. So I would suggest, and that's other people did, and they found it very useful. Just do a post-it for you, like a note, sticky note, and write down the pages. So you know I go from this page to this, and then I jump to that page, back and forth, and that's very, very helpful. Unless, as we said before, you buy yourself muktzeh when and everything in the right order. But if you don't, you use the same Siddur, but you remember to jump from page to page. Yeah, go ahead.
Rabbi, do we add a Hallel to each of the prayers? Do we add it after? Well, no, we add it after Shachrit, we add it after the Minha.
No. Only Hallel.
It's only the Shachrit.
Yes. It's there's only one exception. Hallel is only in a Shacharis only, but exception, of course, there is always exception in Judaism. Almost not always, but many times on Pesach night. As we discussed, so tomorrow night and the Thursday night we say Hallel in the Mariv. Yes, and then we go back and you say Aleinu L'Shabeach. Very important. But otherwise it's in the morning. You're right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions on what we said, what we did not say? Okay, so let me then answer. Like I remember the question about this coffee maker on if you're allowed to use the coffee maker on a Chol HaMoed. The problem is not with the coffee maker, but with the coffee. So if you had like regular coffee, like straight coffees, I don't know, what a classic, I don't know, what a regular coffee, most likely there is no problem. and you're allowed to use it, right? But if it was flavored, you have to check if it was kosher for Pesach. And some things, I'm not sure why. Tell the truth, I'm not sure why, but they would not say that it's kosher la Pesach, right? For some things. But if you go for, I'm talking about ou.org, right? But when you go to ou.org, it would say it is kosher la Pesach, and no symbol required. In other things, for other things, it says it would say kosher la Pesach, but symbol requires, meaning. If there is symbol, it's kosher. If no symbol, it's not kosher. And many things, for example, we use this toothpaste, and it was never like there was no kosher, never kosher sign on that, never kosher la Pesach sign. But on the website they say it's a kosher la Pesach all year round. Okay, what can you do? So it's not so simple. So same with this coffee. If it was flavored. It's possible there is an issue. Possible. Is it guaranteed? No, it's not guaranteed. So it's possible. So we can always go to ou.org. There is a product check, search, and you can see you enter your brand and flavor, and if there is flavor, and see if it's actually kosher Pesach. If it's not OU, you have to go to their website and check. So there is no simple rule. If it's like regular coffee, most likely that is kosher or Pesach. Okay. What else? I think it was one more question. I apologize, I forgot. Israel, can you please quickly check? What was it? If you're there, let's see. Okay, can some? Okay. Go ahead.
I'm opening the WhatsApp.
Okay, it was from yesterday. Somebody put it yesterday, very late.
Opening this.
So what? Okay. So while it's loading for Israel, any other questions before? Okay, no problem. Yes.
There is. Can we shop for food?
Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's it. Yes. Thank you very much. So yes, of course, on Chol HaMoed, you're allowed to do everything that you need for preparation. You can go buy dishes. You can towel in the mikveh, whatever you need to do because it is for holiday, right? It's for holiday, for Shabbos. And one more thing, just to remind people who are not going to go to shul, this Shabbos it's called Shabbos Chol HaMoed, right? It's like intermediate days. It's a special requirement. We actually read Shir HaShirim, Song of Songs by Shlomo HaMelech. So if you go to shul, it's extra. I don't know, like half an hour or something. It's very, very long, and it should be in our Siddur. It's in the beginning of Shabbos, which is 309 approximately. I think it's 309. No, okay. The prayer is at 309, but actually it's not the text of Shir HaShirim, because the author, they usually don't want to translate it literally, because it's people are going to go crazy. But you can see you can read this interpretation. It's like not literal translation, but approximate translation with a commentary involved, like commentary / translation. So it's on page 298, and if you're not going to shul, you can read it on Shabbos day. So as I said, it takes a long time. It's not so simple. I mean, maybe not such a lot. I said half an hour. I think it takes half an hour to 25 minutes, half an hour. Okay, so that's all we need. Okay, no problem. So if there is no more questions, so we can stop here. This was Hashem. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I want to. What's the latest time to search for the Chametz? Like if you're gonna do it with your little ones, what's the cutoff time?
Oh, okay. So you can you can search until the dawn. Actually, you have the whole night. But our sages were afraid that a person would fall asleep, this and that would miss the opportunity. So they say you're not allowed to go to have a meal, right? Half an hour before the search for HaOmer starts, and you're not even allowed to start learning Torah. If it's not set at the time, right, or you're not allowed to start even praying, right? So like if you might forget. Of course, if you have like a proper minyan that you're going to go to shul, they're going to remind you to go search. There is no problem, but it's try to search as soon as possible. So if somebody did not search yet, so please search right now. Again, there is no obligation to find anything. I mean, you search, that does not mean that you're going to find, but the custom over the years developed that we hide these 10 pieces, and usually I'm the one who is looking for, and somebody else is hiding in my family. So, okay, it took me 15 minutes, 20 minutes to look, but because we have a little stricter rules, so we don't like take home, it's like beyond the dining area, basically. So it's for us it's very simple, right? So you're not obligated if you know for sure that nobody took home in that area, like for example in your bedroom. So nobody ever ate in the bedroom during the year, so you're not obligated to search that. But if you have a little children, you're obligated to search everywhere. Especially with kids, sometimes they put cookie in, guess what, in the pockets, and just because you wash this sweater or something, that like does not mean that it's cookie is still not there. Maybe you wash it, but it's the cookie is still in the pocket. So you have to check all of the pockets for children everywhere, all of the closets, all of the toys. That's a little bigger burden, but well, what can you do? And you have to check your car. If you ever ate, let's say if you ate chametz in your car, you have to also check and clean the car. Of course, clean. First you clean, and then you check, of course. And all the like like properties that belong to you or are used by you, even rented. You have some storage, for example. So you have to check the storage, unless you know for sure you never took in your storage you have only your tools, I don't know, carpentry tools, and I don't know your skis, and I don't know your helmet. That's it. So there were never ever chametz there, so you're not obligated. Same in the car. If you never eat in the car, for example, I never eat in the car, never ever. Okay, so there is and we don't carry like open chametz. No, nobody in my family. So that's simple. So we just clean the car, but I mean we search, but we know that there is nothing to search basically. So don't go crazy basically. Okay.
Wishing you a good Pesach, Rabbi.
Amen.
Thank you so much for everything.
You're welcome, and so I wish you the same kosher Pesach. So try to learn a lot, so that there is a base opportunity to learn. But I will try to catch up. Try to learn Exodus from Egypt. There is a lot of material, I'm sure, and that's it. So we're going to meet Beezrat Hashem in the first opportunity on Chol HaMoed. So we don't cancel classes on Chol HaMoed. Keep all the classes.
There is a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Are we allowed to use coffee makers during Chol HaMoed?
Okay, yeah, we've already answered. So yeah, thank you. So we said it depends on a brand. No, not in a brand, and if it's regular or flavored.
It will be 1 day or 2 days of Yom Tov, depending on and made it have Kodesh or
No, in Israel it's one day, in not beyond Israel it's always 2 days, always.
So it's 2 days on both?
Yes, 2 days are first 2 days and last 2 days, yes.
Rabbi, with the question regarding the coffee maker, it's the stuff that makes the coffee, no? Or is it or are they talking about the coffee brand? Because what I understood, it's the coffee maker, like the stuff that brews the coffee.
No, it's both of them. So if this coffee was kosher Pesach, let's say, or it was not flavor, without flavor, so it did not pass anything to the coffee maker itself. You understand? That's the reason. So you would be allowed to use it. But if you're not sure, like about coffee, or you use 10 different brands and some of them were flavored, so that's you have to check exactly what are you using. So I would say if it's not a big deal, to just get a separate coffee maker for a Pesach, and nothing fancy, like it's $15 maybe it's going to cost. So like simple. Don't go crazy.
What happens if you have like the one that I have is one that's more, it's not electronic or anything. There's only one specific coffee that we put in there. It's Cuban coffee. And is it okay just to,
you have to check. No, it's not so simple. Plastic you cannot kosher. So many pieces there, especially the piece where that holds the filter, if I understand correctly, like what you're saying, it's actually made of plastic. So if it was
no, it's metal. It's
metal.
Metal,
you can, okay. So if there is no plastic, so you can kosher the metal, but you have to check if this coffee is actually kosher Pesach. There are two separate things: coffee kosher Pesach and the coffee maker.
Thank you so much, Reuven.
Yes. So again, check. Go on the website. I don't think anybody is going to answer the phone tomorrow. Everybody's off. I mean, everybody like prepare for the day on Pesach. But usually today the stuff on website is very up to date. At least on on KSA. I also contacted them. They're up to date. We're a very good website. Okay, also good. Okay. So if it's questionable, don't do it. Don't do it. Buy yourself this instant coffee and then that's it. So that kosher Pesach for sure. There is no problem. So 8 days you can drink this thing. Okay. Any other questions before we finish? Go ahead.
One more. When searching for the Chametz, are you obligated to use a candle, or can you use a flashlight, or is there?
Okay, so it's a very good question. So it's actually it's a custom, age-old custom that we use candles. So I would say at least start with candle. So, but please make sure that all lights are off. Right? Why or most of lights are off? Because it's then the candle gives the most light. It's you actually see very easily with the candle when there are no lights, and that's why I also just say search when it's complete dark outside, right? So what I would suggest, what we do, we start with a candle, like a few feet you do with a candle, then you switch with the candlelight with a flashlight. Of course, it's easier to hold it. It's not so simple to collect this chametz with your feather and with your spoon and plus like balancing the candle. Of course, a flashlight is easier. Yes. So start with a candle and switch to flashlight. Yes. And it's one thing. It's very important to drink these 4 cups of wine. So some people that don't like wine, and that's not the night when we do what we like. We do what is proper. So I would say even if you're going to get a little headache, it's still proper for you to drink wine, right? If you somebody has for shalom have diabetes or something, and it's this wine that can kill a person, of course you don't drink wine, right? But if you have just minor discomfort, yeah, you have to drink wine. Okay. Or as we said before, like dilute it with what is it, with a grape juice or with water, so it's not going to be as strong wine. That's it. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Rabbi, because yesterday when I was working, I encountered the person I was working doing a job for. He was the Christian he is a Christian missionary, and he didn't know what I was until I told him. He offered me something. I said, no, I eat kosher. Like I can't have whatever. He's like, oh, and then he started going on his little thing. And then how do I approach that situation? Because what I did was I was like, I know what you're gonna say, because I was like, I know everything. I tried to avoid a debate because I didn't want to debate because I don't know enough to say anything. I don't want to. First, I don't want to have a debate at that moment because I was focused on the job that I had to do and just get out of it.
Yeah. So that's very interesting question, and I'm going to say first was what I heard from Rabbi Reuven Shlita. I listened to the lecture from 5 years ago, and he said very beautifully. He put it like for me it was mind blowing, and he said it why I do not debate, because this information from another side have no value to me. I don't want to listen. It has no value to me, and I'm secure with my information. That's why there is no debate. So when you have a situation like that, you say 1 second. I want to work. Please, I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to discuss it. Say why you're not. I don't want to discuss it. Period. So if you like cut it cold, they usually stop. So don't be nice. Don't be nice. Okay, I say apologize, sir. I have to work. I have to do. I'm not interested in debate. It's not my job. I'm at the job. This and that. Not interested. I'm not interested. But if you're interested, I can send you information. Why I'm not interested. Okay. But after I do my job and after I leave. That's it. And then don't get involved in this with the missionary. So missionary, I mean they're like robots. So first time many years ago, I thought that the guy is sincere, but there's nothing sincere about him. They're robots. They just they spew the verses, the number of the verses, and they do their own conclusions and stuff like that. I mean, who need that? As Rabbi Reuven said, there is no point for debate because your information has no value to me. No value, zero. Okay. Very good question.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. So cut them. Don't play nice. Don't play nice, because if you try to place a little nicer, a little softer, they take it as opportunity. Maybe they're going to get to you. Okay. What else? Any other questions? Any topic? Okay. So let's say goodbye for a fifth time now, and until the next time. So try to focus on the Torah. Don't eat too much, especially on two Siddurim. Just eat whatever you must eat for sure, and then the rest. Okay. So thank you and good night. Take care.